My name is Michael and welcome to another GTK Expander tutorial. Until now, what did we learn? We learned that we declared one window, two grids, two expanders, one spin button and three radio buttons. We decide to create the window and then we create those two grids. Once that we have them, we said that we add the grid 1 to the window, and then we were creating those two expanders. We also creating the spin button, those three radio buttons. Those three radio buttons has to be joined together, so for this reason we need the GTK radio button join group to join the radio button 2 and 3 together with radio button 1. Once that we did that, the last thing which remained was that to put those two expanders inside the grid 1, which is expander 1, expander 2. Once that we did that, we put the spin button inside the expander 1, and inside the grid 2 we are putting the expander 2. And once that we have it inside, we put the grid 2 inside the expander 2, sorry. And once that we have the grid inside the expander, we can just put those three radios inside the grid. So at that point we came with this story, as you already know, and here we have all those informations. Now the next thing which we are going to do, we are going to work with not with the signal right now, which is the activate. This signal you find it everywhere in the menus and a lot of other widgets. Activate, I think you find also in the GTK entry and so on. No, I'm going to work now with the properties, because signals you already understand them, but you need to understand the properties as well. So I'm going to choose the expanded, and the expander says whether the expander, because this is what we need now. Activate means if you press enter or space, does that thing happen, but I want to happen that thing always, even if you choose to use your mouse as well, which is a little bit different. And I'm not interested about mouse or keyboard or something. I'm interested about the expanded. I'm interested about this thing right here, and this thing means when I click this one, you see this is the expanding thing. This is what I'm interested in. All other things I'm not interested. Okay, so for this we need this property expanded. So whether the expander has been opened to reveal the child widget, you see, and says the flags are read, write and construct, yeah, of course this part you should know. I told you in a lot of videos, when we are going to create our own widgets, you understand better what means with these flags, but these things has to do with gparm spec story and so on. Okay, so the default value is false, which means it's dead. You can set it to true, but we are not going to set it, we are going to monitor it. And for this I'm going down here and I'm going to say g signal connect. And of course, what do we need? We need our expander. And once that we get our expander, whoa, we don't need a string. What I'm doing here, expander. We need an expander, which will be the expander 1 in this case. And of course, we need the expanded, but the expanded property doesn't work. You should already know. We need a notify string together with those double calls. Now we transform our property in a signal and we can monitor it. And we need a g callback as well, and the g callback we are going to say expanded callback, whatever you decide the names which you do or you give for your callbacks. And now let's use window to be something different. Now let us create this one, because this is the thing which does our video to the interesting. Now we don't know that notify signal from the G object always expects a void function, which means we do need to create it as well. And the expanded, really, yeah, I do know that I need to learn more English, but I didn't know that I need to learn more about writing as well. Oh, I'm joking. Anyway, so the GTK expander will be our first. The second one will be, of course, the gparm spec, and the last one, because we need our GTK window. We are working with our window, because I said that I need a window. Now because we declare a function which we don't have it, let us define it as well to have it. Now I'm not going to check again against them return greturn functions if fail or something. I'm going to just retrieve the parameter from the property, I mean the property name, because I need it right now. So const gchar const get prop name, and of course the traditional gparam spec get name function, and of course the p spec. Now that we have the name of the property which we are monitoring it, which we already know which is, isn't it? It is the expander. Now we are going to say let us create a static gboolean because it is better, flag, and of course false. Now because we have it, we can check against it if flag it's equal to false, and it is because we did that. Right now we can now say gprint the %s, which is the property, yes, the %s property was set. I don't know if it's the right name or right title or right string or whatever. You decide, like I said, which things, maybe it wasn't set, maybe it was catched, maybe it was whatever. The expander expanded. You decide. I don't care. It's your decision. But one is for sure, we need to set it to true so that we can fall to next time in the else statement, gprint, and here we are going to say expander was closed or something like this. Yeah, whatever. It's your decision. Okay. Now set it back to false, because if not, a lot of crocodiles we are going to have. And now we can say, because you see I was passing also the window, so let us do something with this one as well. I'm going to say GTK window set title window get property, whatever. Whoa, without string, get prop name. Let's see what happens. Let me compile it and run it. And of course it doesn't work fine because we the expander, we forgot to work with expander, we did nothing to the expander, so I'm going to check it only, which is more than enough. Now greturn if fail, GTK is expander, just to be sure that we are not passing something strange. And of course I'm going also to say void, even if I don't need. You know why? Because I already checked this parameter. By calling this function I'm using already, but me, I'm just calling the void also on it. I'm doing both. Okay, what we did now, let's see before we run it. We decide to catch the expander property to be notified about the expanded property once that goes from true to false. Now it's false, and when we have it, we need to catch it on the expander, the first expander, and when we have it, then we call this callback, and by calling this callback we are passing the window. Doing this, we are getting the name of the property, which will be expand, and we are setting a flag, a gboolean variable, to false, and then we check against it, and because it is false, we print the property name, and next time when we call it, basically when close, and the message will say expander was closed, we will going to use as the title for our window the property name. Let's see what's doing the story. So now watch, expanded, yes, we have the expanded, the expanded property was set, whatever, choose another name, and now here that doesn't happen something, we can do it. Now when I close it, the expander was closed, but you see the title was set, and this happens because, yes, because I didn't use this call inside of one of those if statements. So basically let us make something much more crazy. Let us do this, and here I'm going to use the same name, BAM, and without new line, of course. Now it looks better. And I'm going to say, no, you know what? No, I'm going to say expander was open. Whatever, it's your decision. Let me see. You are the guy which, or you are the person which you decide what you are doing. So now it says expander was open. Okay, let me make a bigger, let's say 300, to see the whole title, because without seeing the whole title we get no information. Now let's see. Now we have a bigger window and says expander was open, expander was closed. Yes, which works fine. Yes, and of course here we get the expander property was set and expander was open. The setting now applies to the other expander, which is the expander 2. When I'm going to compile it now and run it, now we have the expander property was set, and okay, I need to join these two together in a different way, because now it looks a little bit creepy. Of course, because I called the same function of both, but we didn't give a real meaning for them. So at this point, one said that was closed and the other says it's still open, which is wrong. Now if I close this one, it says the expander property was set, which is definitely not what we need. But whatever, this is another story, this is another thing which I'm going to let you guys, because I think it's quite easy. We have functions which let you to check even those properties. You can check it is open, if it is closed. We didn't check. I didn't check at all. I don't care, because I knew there was closed at the minute when you run the program. They are closed. So because they are closed, I just use, that's the reason why I'm using a Boolean flag, because I know they are closed. But never, that's important for you to remember, guys, never rely on the fact that something is closed or it's open. You never know when exactly change that behavior, when it's closed and open. It is you, it is the cable, it is something which your application does that expander expands, so you better check before you set something. You better check if it's true or false with those properties and those functions. Use them, those get and those sector functions. It's very important. But I take the easy way, just because I'm not here to provide you the whole documentation about every possible widget in all possible ways, because it will take me 3 years to, and we'll be still no done with the documentation, because as you already know, the documentation is huge. As you can see, we have a lot of widgets. Of course, I'm struggling to check all these widgets to be sure that those widgets are still available, which means you can do it yourself too. I'm doing something like this. I go to Google and I'm going to say GTK 4 object hierarchy, and now you get basically the difference, because not all these widgets are still available. Watch, for example, GTK dialog has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now in the GTK 3 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You see? So they dropped a lot of them, or maybe they changed. I don't want to check right now to compare them. But one is for sure, until I'm not done with all widgets which are present in the GTK 4 as well, I'm going to use as much as possible only widgets which they are present in both GTK 3 and 4. And of course, I'm going to introduce you also widgets which they are dead in GTK 4, just to get more information about how you can work better with GTK. That being said, thank you guys for watching. If you like it, please subscribe, share with your friends and neighbors, and until next time, see you guys.